Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dani and today it's time for my April M&M'S TBR. If you can see a little bit my decoration here, April is Easter time, which is a holiday that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorites because there's a lot of chocolate involved. And I always buy too much chocolate, or I always get too much chocolate on Easter, and I'm very excited for it because I do a TBR with chocolate, so we have to incorporate it. So this TBR is going to be special and you're going to see why. But before we start, let's see how I did in March. These are the books that the M&Ms picked for me in March. So the first one is Fullmetal Alchemist Volume 12, which was for a new release. And I read it in February actually because I read it in one day. Then we have Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard, which was for a hand in the cover. And I did read it in the month and I loved it. Then we have A Natural History of Dragons, which was for new author, and I also read it. I listened to the audiobook and it was really good. The next one is A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, which was for an Asian author, and I'm almost done with it. I'm probably gonna finish today, so also good. And then we have The Way of Kings Volume 2, which was for high rating, which I did not even look at. So I'm definitely not going to get to The Way of Kings this month, so I will have to add a challenge to the board. So the first prompt that we're going to put here to replace the last one from that last month is going to come from the red bag. And let's see what we are going to get. Like I said, these are not necessarily bad prompts, just challenges. Some are bad. Okay, I got a book in French. So if this one comes up, I have to read a book entirely in French. This would be like the biggest challenge for me, I think. But I'm excited. I bought some middle grade French books in French and I'm excited to read them at some point. Starting this month, I'm adding a new thing to my M&M'S TBR, which I'm so excited about, which is basically that I want you to pick one book for one of the prompts. So for example, if I picked a French book, I would choose like 5 books and you would decide between those 5 books which one I should read. And how are we going to do that? I created a Discord server for my channel, for Current Chapter, and it's linked in the description, so you should definitely join, you should check it out. There's some conversation happening there already, and I'm really excited. The goal for my Discord is just really to do the M&M'S TBR poll every month, but also to create a community for us to talk about books, talk about what we're reading, recommend books for other people. I also created a Channel and Bone channel there already, so we can chat about the TV show. So there's a lot of things there and I'm really excited about it. So if you're interested in joining this small community, it's there in the description. So definitely check it out. If you want to buddy read a book with me from my M&M'S TBR, also we can definitely do that there. We have specific channels for that. So I really hope you all can join and chat about books there and help me pick one of the books to read. So because it's Easter, it's my favorite holiday, we can't use normal M&Ms. I have a special bag of Easter M&Ms here that I'm really excited for. They're literally the same flavor of M&Ms, it's just the colors that change. They're all like pastel colors, and because the colors are different, this board won't work. We're going to need to change the colors of all the M&Ms here on the board. And if I'm not wrong, just by looking at it, because I didn't open this bag yet, there are 5 colors of M&Ms instead of 6. So there's going to be a big change in the board for this month. Let me do some editing magic and I'll be right back. And I'm back. We have a complete new board today. Because I wanted to use the Easter M&Ms and they only have 5 colors, it wouldn't make sense for me to keep the same prompts on the board because I would have to get rid of one color, which is here in this case I got rid of the brown, and it just wouldn't, like, I didn't want to get rid of those prompts. So what we're going to do is next month for May, we are getting the whole board back. So starting May, I'm going to put exactly the same board that we had before I did this, and that's what we're going to start with. But for Easter, for April, I wanted to do something special, and I picked my favorite prompts from all the prompts that I have, and this is what we have here. One other thing that I did was that I put everywhere the colors match, so like it's green, green, yellow, yellow, blue, blue, it's going to be a book from the Advent calendar recommendations, because I do still want to get through them. Someone recommended this in last month and I think it was a genius idea. I'm going to put here an image of how many prompts or books I have already gone through in the advent calendar, so you can keep track of it a little bit more, because I always keep saying it and you don't have anything to visualize it. So here you go. Now you see how many books I have not read yet. I only read one of the books from the advent calendar, and I've gone through a lot of the prompts, so there we're doing well, but not in the books. Now for the TBR Games Shoutouts, because this video is already getting too long, I only have 3, but they are all super cool. So the first one is Jessie May with Roll the Dice TBR. She rolls a huge dice, like really big dice, and she has a list of books, and each number that she gets is a specific book that she's going to read, or that she's going to try to prioritize in that month. And it's a very simple TBR, which is also really cool, and I really love to watch that every month. The second one I want to shout out is from Seed Bookworm. She does a spin the bottle TBR, and she has specific challenges that if she gets to that every month, she does a different game of how to choose the book, and it's really funny. I definitely recommend you check it out. It's just also one that I love to watch every month. And last but not least is Kailani Simply Me. She has a bingo TBR, which is very straightforward. She gets a bingo ball thing, and that corresponds to a prompt, and if she does a bingo in her board, then there are different rules for that, and it's just really cool to watch as well. And she also used dice to decide how many books she's going to pick for each month, which I think is really fun. All of them are linked in the description of this video, but now let's start with the April TBR. I'm so excited! Like I said, I haven't opened this yet, so I'm guessing the colors here by the colors in the front of the bag, which could go really bad. Let's hope it's the right colors. Okay. Guess what? There's an insane amount of blues here. And yellows. Ooh, blue and yellow would be by a book, huh? Let me try to show this to you. So the colors are correct, but there's just way too many blues and yellows. But we'll go with that. That's what we have. So it's time to start with the first M&M for the first book of April. Yellow. The colors are very muted, so it's going to be hard for you to see, but it's a yellow. This is really good. Why does Easter chocolate taste better than other chocolates when they're exactly the same? Literally, Easter eggs, like this type of eggs, are my favorite type of chocolate, because they just taste better. I can't explain it. But let's go to the second M&M for the first book. Yellow again. Like I said, when we get 2 of the same colors, we get a book from the advent calendar, and that's the only prompt that I'm not going to change in the April board, because I want it to be all books with the same colors. But it means that I get to pick a book from the advent calendar. Let me see what I want to read. The book that I picked for the book prompt was The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty. This was recommended to me by Daniela. Her booktube channel is currently in hiatus, but she does have a cool Instagram that you can follow. I'm going to link her in the description, so definitely check it out. I'm really in the mood for a thriller, and all I know about this one is that it's about a woman who finds a letter that her husband wrote for her to read when he dies, with a lot of secrets, but she finds the letter before he dies. And there's a lot of secrets there. And that's all I know. I'm excited, really in the mood for a thriller. It's going to be my first book by Leanne Moriarty, and I've heard amazing things. So we're going with this one. We're now replacing the prompt because it's a book prompt. So let's pick the second M&M for the second book. Yellow again. Let's shake this a bit. Okay, second M&M for the second book is purple, or is this pink? That's pink. I had to compare with the purple, but this one is pink. And it is Goodreads Rack. This prompt means that I'm going to scroll through Goodreads, and the first book that appears that I have on my TBR, it's going on my April TBR. I'm going to see from all the friends and people I follow. Okay, I don't know what this book is. This is a romance. I don't own it. More romance. Do I follow a lot of people who reads romances? What's going on? A Court of Silver Flames. I don't have that. The Minders. I don't know what. Oh, it's by Joe Mars. same man who wrote The One, which is on Netflix. I watched the TV show. It's good. Kings of the Wild, I would want to read that, but I don't have it. Same for The House of Cerulean Sea. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, I don't have it. Legendborn, I don't have that. Daisy Jones, I've read it already. Mexican Gothics, Talking Jack the Ripper. Oh my god, usually I see so many books that I own, that I have. This is going longer than I thought it could. Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue, I also read it. Obsidio, I don't have it. I have Gemini, I have to read Gemini first. This is crazy. There we go. Finally, I found one that I haven't read yet that is on my TBR, which is How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. I'm going to pick it up. Here it is, finally. How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. This is the Brazilian edition, it's in Portuguese. And I don't love to read translated books to Portuguese anymore when I can avoid it. So if I do find the audiobook on my library for it, I might go with the audiobook. But we have it. There we go. I've put this book in my TBR before, but I didn't get to it, so second chance to read here as well. All I know about it is that it's about a man who can live forever, or he just ages very slowly, and he just has to deal with that and life, and I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a romance also, about changing, about, I don't know, probably dealing with people's deaths, I would guess. But that's all I know about this book. I've only read The Humans by Matt Haig and I really, really loved it. So I'm really excited to get to this one. And it's a short one. It's like 300 pages. So I'm really excited for it. It didn't break. Okay, this Easter egg is getting out of the decoration because it doesn't want to be there, so we're going to respect it. It really feels like it didn't break, but I'm worried. I'm going to replace that prompt with Start Series. I'm not picking the prompts from the bag this time because I'm just picking my favorite prompts for April, so we're going to go with this one. The first M&M for the third book is blue. The second M&M for the third book is yellow. Oh, nice. We got buy a book. So for the buy a book prompt, I was thinking if I should use this one for the poll on Discord, but I want to give you a little bit of time to vote on the books, and I want to buy a book right away. So the book that I'm going to buy is actually one that's coming out in April. It's going to be released in April 6th, and it's called House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. And I don't know much about it. I haven't heard anyone talking about this book, but the cover looks really cool. And it really, maybe just because of the cover, but it does remind me of Horrid by Katrina Leno. It is kind of like a YA horror fantasy kind of thing, which is what Horrid was as well. And Horrid was my favorite book last year, so I'm really curious about this one and I really want to get it. So I'm going to pre-order House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland, and I hope it's good. Like I said, I just read the synopsis. It's been a long time since I last bought a book like that. We're just reading the synopsis and thinking it's cool. So we're going to go with that. Let's replace that one with recent purchase. There's only one recent purchase really that could fit for this one, and it is a manga and I would love to read it, so it would be really good if that prompt came up. So the first M&M for the fourth book is, what is this? Pink again. The pinks and the purples look really similar. The second M&M for the fourth book is purple. Okay, the pinks and the purples are not that similar. When I get a pink, I think it might be a purple, but when I get a purple, I know it's a purple. And I got series, which means that I have to pick any book that it's part of a series. It can be the first book in a series, the last book in a series, the middle book of a series. And I think this is a perfect one for me to put a poll on Discord, so I'm gonna pick some options. So I picked 3 books that are actually from the Advent calendar as well, and you should go on Discord and vote for which one you think I should read in April. So the first one is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is a sci-fi about a man who's trying to get revenge, I think, because something happened to his family. The second one is Vicious by V. Schwab. This is about two guys who used to be best friends but now they're enemies, and they do experiment of near-death experience, I think, and people get superpowers or something like that. And the last one is Gemina by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This is the second book in the Illuminate series, and it's a sci-fi about... I don't even remember the first one very well, honestly. But I think people were flying away from a planet that was being invaded, but this one is supposed to be a companion. It's not a direct sequel from what I've heard. So I don't know, but it's different format, and I'm excited to read it. And I think it looks really big, but it's probably a quick read. So let me know which one you think I should read. Definitely let me know in the comments, but the one that is going to count for me to pick is the vote on the poll on Discord. So go over there and pick the one that you think I should read. Let's replace the prompt for the last time with new author. I'm really sad to say goodbye to my Easter board. I had so much fun putting ears in my M&Ms to make them look like bunnies, but this is the last book. So the first M&M for the last book is... I don't know what I want to get. It's so hard. Blue. Any of these I would love. So let's see what the M&Ms want me to read. Pink. Definitely pink, yes. And we got fantasy. Very generic and vague. I can pick any fantasy I want. So let me see what I want. It was actually really hard for me to pick a book right now because, surprisingly enough, it looks like I'm not in the mood to read any of the fantasies that I own right now. So that's weird. But I did pick one. I don't know if I'm really curious to read it, not completely in the mood, but maybe by the end of the month I will be back in the mood to read this book because I was in the beginning of the year so much. So the book that I picked for fantasy is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I haven't read anything by this author before, but this one is about Greek mythology, so about Greek goddesses and gods that come to Earth and they become immortal every 7 years, I think, and then their descendants can kill them and take their place. I think that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm excited to read it. I'm just not in the mood right now, but hopefully by the end of the month I will get to this one. So that's it. These 3 books are my TBR for April: Lore, How to Stop Time, and The Husband's Secret, together with House of Hollows and the one that you're going to vote on Discord, which is between Red Rising, Gemina, and Vicious. If you're still here, I also wanted to share that I'm planning to do a 24-hour readathon, very chill, very informal, nothing hosted on YouTube or anything like that, on Easter Day, so April 4th, and I'm going to be reading one of these books, and I might put something up on Discord, so if you want to join me, definitely check that channel on Discord as well. And I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this special Easter edition of the M&M'S TBR. I hope you have an awesome Easter, however you celebrate it. In my case, I just eat a lot of chocolate, but if you celebrate it in different ways, I really hope you have an awesome day as well. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye!